friends. Oh my goodness. Hi. I've uh, this, I've had a week. I've got this. Hi. How are you all doing today? Because I've got a lot going on. Let me set things up. Is it working? Am I working? Is everything working? Do I have fingies? I have fingies. Okay, good. That's good. So, there's no clickbait in the title. I'll get to all of it soon. But, oh boy. I've got a handful of life changes on the horizon. To put it mildly. And they're exciting, and good, and terrifying, and good, and positive, and also terrifying. So, I'm gonna get the big one out of the way first. Yes, I have quit my job. What does that mean for anything? Why do you care? Well, you care about me and what's going on in my life, so I hope you care. But other than that, the more important part, okay. So, the reason that you care, probably, is because I'm going to be changing the type of content I make and how I make it. Specifically, I am going to be, eventually, shifting myself over to uploaded content. Rather than streaming for 2 hours of live stream, there's going to be 40 to 60 minute Let's Play videos. And those videos are going to be the way I'm going to do content. Not right away. They'll still do a couple streams a week. Don't worry. All the staples are going to be there. There will be the D&D streams. New World is still going strong. There's going to be a new D&D stream on Mondays with the delightful Bucket Lamp and Sapphire and actually not Sapphire and Buck and Sprig and a couple people who you guys are less familiar with. And that's going to be a delight. And I'm going to be working on doing uploaded content. We'll be going back to Lies of P. We'll be starting a couple of new series. But I'm going to be keeping on streaming for a little while. Why am I still streaming for a little while when I'm planning on shifting? I want to build up a little bit of a buffer. I want to start recording some stuff. And honestly, I just want to do nothing but regular stream for a couple of weeks, which, the kind of thing that I've been doing. And just not do extra stuff for a little while. Because, I mean, I've been at this job for well over a decade, and I've been burnt out on this job. I was so burnt out that I decided to become a lizard on the internet. I mean, if that doesn't tell you how I'm doing, I don't know what will. And there was two paths I could take. There were two paths that were very different, that were both going to be interesting. One was finding a new job. I have had the title of it's a small company, but I've had the title of vice president for the past decade. So, I could probably get a six-figure job. Now, this job didn't really pay much more than basic wage, but, with my skills and with my resume, I could probably have gotten a six-figure job, possibly even high six-figure, 200,000. That was one path, and then I would try to stream as normal, although probably be working so much more and falling over and collapsing. And if that happened, I realized I probably wouldn't be happy. And I probably wouldn't be able to keep streaming because of how much I would work. I would probably be able to put a lot into advertising streams. Well, now that you could quite use some more money from this, huh? I mean, I have some plans on how I'm going to grow and how I'm going to be able to monetize this better, the channel that is. But yeah, if anybody is, can find my Ko-fi page. Actually, you know what? Hold on, let me put it here. I need to update stuff on the Ko-fi page. That will be something that I do in the very near future. Let me just actually pin that. There. You don't want to go into management, XX work? Yeah, exactly. So, I'm going to be... The other option was to do the exact opposite. Quit job, and that's what I'm doing. I'm going to... Oh, wait, this needs to... Whatever. Wow, my Ko-fi is wildly out of date. I still have stuff from my old model from over a year ago. Woo! Hooray! Thank you, Tezzy. I really appreciate it. Oh, yeah, that goal is not accurate. Let me just... I'll set that up later. Along with the tier. I need to redo everything here. Thank you, Trinity. Thank you, and so welcome much. And I just sort of realized that I have a roommate who's going to be covering a lot of living supplies, and even if I don't make a cent off of the YouTubes, if I can survive off of $30 a week for food, I can do this kind of indefinitely. I can just sort of like keep on doing this, and that's something that's possible, you know, between oh my goodness, thank you so much for Catablock. I really appreciate that. And like, this is the kind of thing that I will be able to do. I can just do. And if I can just do... So I'm just... That's gonna be... What is that? I don't know. Then it'll be something that makes me very happy. Now I can make you happy. And... That's the hopes. That's the dreams. That's the goal. That's... So how am I gonna do this? Well, again, there's going to be... The streams are basically going to be D&D, the occasional chat stream, unfocused thoughts, and the one Twitch stream a week. So one Twitch stream a week, one, possibly two D&D streams a week, and unfocused thoughts or a chat stream on the other... the days where the New World campaign isn't going. So every other week for New World campaign, the new... Watching your streams and content always makes you happy? Aw, I'm glad. Thank you. That's what I want more than anything, is I want to make people happy. So those will be the live streams, so effectively it'll be one D&D stream and then 2 regular streams a week. And then on Monday I will mostly have off aside from stream. Tuesday and Thursday I'll be able to record and edit and make the upload content. Wednesday and Friday, I will actually have to be driving a friend around a good amount. That's part of the deal. And I think that's gonna go well, because I want to do this. It makes me happy. It's scary. It's terrifying. But I'll be able to make more of the TikToks, which I really enjoy making and I haven't made in months. I'm going to be able to make more of the content that I actually enjoy, that I have been, you know, doing entirely, but the kind of content that I make with, you know, with the uploads, I can edit in a couple of jokes. I can, you know, occasionally have Hensha actually do the editing for a video. I can work on video essays, which is the other main pillar, is that once I get the ball rolling on, and I have a buffer of the uploaded content. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Solanum. Once I have the ball rolling on the, thank you so... Oh, wow! Thank you so much, Conley! Holy goodness! Wow. I'm going to be making a new channel. I have not put it aside yet, please don't snipe the channel name. But I'm going to make the channel for Kobold Industries Incorporated and make video essays. You've seen my unfinished not unhinged thoughts, though they kind of are sometimes, right? You've seen the unfocused thoughts videos. The unfocused thoughts videos are kind of... Imagine the unfocused thoughts videos, but, like, actually made into proper essays. I have a couple of half scripts already. I'm going to be doing a lot more members things. I'm going to have several... all the new uploaded videos are going to be available to members first. I know that members have just been mostly getting the chat things. Pete's in chat if you got him, I guess. But that will also have access to new and interesting things that don't exist yet. That'll have early access to any of the videos, and you can support those with super thanks. Whereas a Ko-fi or a super chat goes away after, between half an hour and the day. The super thanks will be on the video for all time, so that'll stick around. It's basically just the super chat version that you do for videos instead of streams. You do it in the comments section. So, like, I have high hopes. I think I can pull this off. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult, and on a real genuine level, I'm scared that changing formats is not going to work, because you guys like streams. You guys come for live streams. I hope that you guys will get more enjoyment out of an upload video. I really do. I hope that you guys will get more enjoyment out of an upload video than a stream, because I stream in a very Let's Play content style, right? I've been enjoying Let's Play content ever since Something Awful, ever since, like, Slow Beef playing playing God Hand, like, it'll be 40-minute to an hour. It'll be video uploads, and they'll have some editing, so I can play Breath of Fire and not just sit there and grind for 70 billion hours. I will be able to add in some things in post. I'll be able to make the kind of content that I watch. I think that's more important, honestly. I'm going to be able to make the kind of content that I watch, because I don't watch streamers. I apologize. I feel bad about all of my friends because they're all streamers, and I just don't watch streamers. I would rather watch a video essay or a Let's Play than watch a live stream or a stream VOD. So, like, all of my friends are streamers, and I feel bad because I don't really watch their stuff. That's not the kind of content that I enjoy. And I feel guilty about that because I want to support my friends, and I do sometimes hop on and just, leave them a viewer for a while, but, like, yeah, uploads will have premieres as well. Like, it'll be... But fundamentally, I'm changing what my audience is going to get out of me, which is usually a bad thing. Right? I'm changing what my audience is going to be watching me for. And that could fall flat. But I'll also be doing something I love. I'll be doing something I love even more. Streaming is not easy because you do have to have that improv, you do have to have that patter, you do have to have that ability to yap. But it is also one of the easiest forms of content creation, if we're honest. 2 hours of streaming gives you 2 hours of content. 40 minutes video is going to take 90 minutes to make. An hour-long video is going to take, almost an hour 45 to actually make, assuming there's very mild, if any, or no edits. So, like, it's going to be, more work. But I hope that my personality does drive it. I really do, and NLR. I think it might. You haven't caught many streams, but each has been fantastic. Well, thank you so much. And, like, the playlist tab will be there, and I plan on doing more meme reviews. That's one of the early things I'm going to start doing. Those will be on this channel, not on the new one. The new one's going to be just for video essays. But, like, I'm going to start doing meme reviews on this channel because they're fun, and a lot of people found me because of the ones that I did, and they were good, but, like, I can't... I can't just make those on my own while I'm working a job. I just can't. Especially when my job takes away the big chunk in the middle of the day, because then I don't have time to actually buckle down and start working from morning to evening. I could all the way through. I have to focus on a certain thing and then break it up and be like, okay, time to go to work, to get back from work, being like, okay, I have a couple hours before I need to eat and take care of the animals and before a stream. It's like, okay, is that enough? It's gonna be interesting. I have a video essay on Echoes of Wisdom, which I haven't even played yet. I have a video essay on Octopath Traveler 2 about some incredible writing. I already have a Trello account set up to help myself with project management. I already have this channel and all of its wonderful people and community who I love dearly. And 3,000 subscribers here and 10,000 on TikTok, which I feel bad about abandoning TikTok the way I have, because there's so many things that I could do. Any post that I make to social media. Ooh, what? Yay! Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's any post that I make on social media could be a TikTok, right? What was one of my most recent ones? It's canon that I walk faster than your walking speed but slower than your running speed. I could re-edit that into a short TikTok. Every piece of tech that I own that didn't switch to daylight savings is a mark of pride. One device that I know that I can trust, separated from the poison of the cloud. That could just be a short TikTok. I might fluff it out, add some more writing to it, make it look interesting. Should just be able to do things. I should just be able to do that. I should just be able to do these things. I should just be able to do things. Also, I do have several things. If you've followed lately, you may have seen some of the pixel art. If you haven't, you give me a sec. You're about to. Where's just the... There it is. So, a good chunk of my video essays are going to be using this. This is going to be the talking head for part of it. Part of it's going to be my model, but this is going to be a part. I'm gonna have this in the way of you guys. Ah. It's me yapping. Look, I do be yapping though. I've already set this up as my Fuji tech, and I've set it up for one of my when I'm playing Deadlock, because Deadlock does not play well with having several other programs open. It is 16-bit. The pixel height is based off of Octopath Traveler, and the proportions are built off that, but the emote set is based off of Final Fantasy VI. There's standing. There's the wink and the shock emotes. There's the glance and the sad emotes. Look at that wave. It's a good wave. It looks so good, doesn't it? These are all done by Cactus Bee. If any of you are familiar with them, Cactus Bee is a delight. They have been really good to work with. Hi. I don't... It's... Look, it's a Final Fantasy VI thing, don't worry about it. It's very good. I love it. And yeah, this is the walk test. This is just a testing walk cycle. That's sass. It's a sassy walk. It's mildly based off of Fern from Freeman, who does a very cute walk, which I actually do sometimes if I'm in a good mood. There are still more in progress, and I am looking forward to having the full set of them. But they are being worked on, and they are good. Freeman is a fantastic anime, by the way. One of the video essays I'm going to be writing is actually going to be about how it is a lie that people's attention spans are getting shorter. And Freeman is one of my examples of that. It is currently the top-rated anime and one of the most popular anime of all time right now. And I can very easily point to it and say, look, this is a very slow-paced, character-driven anime. If people actually didn't have attention spans, this wouldn't be popular. People have talked about how the kids these days don't have had shorter attention spans since, like, Plato's era. Like, this goes back to ancient times, and it's not true. Same thing about people not wanting to work. People have been complaining about that for millennia. But, like, Freeman exists. One of the most popular game is Baldur's Gate 3, which is an 80-hour epic with a turn-based combat system. Are you kidding me? If people actually had issues with attention span, that game wouldn't have gotten the amount of love that it did. Do you know what really spells short attention span to me? A 200-hour-long trilogy of games that are a remake from the 90s. The Final Fantasy VII remake also is like, if people have a shorter attention span, then this game should have bombed. This game should have been absolute garbage trash. But it wasn't. It was good. I haven't played it yet myself, but like by everything I've heard, it's been amazing. So that's going to be the premise of one of my essays, is this idea. And I think that these essays are going to do well, because you've seen Unfocused Thoughts. You've seen what Unfocused Thoughts look like. And people, like... It's gonna be good. I believe. And, like, part of it is terrifying, because, like, the Iconoclast video didn't even break 100 views. This live stream didn't even break 100 clicks. And, like, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna cut it. But then, like, D&D, the Unfocused Thoughts videos get, like, a couple hundred. And the average ones on D&D get, like, 150 or something like that. You know, like... Yeah. Just glancing over at them, like... Yeah. So, is that enough to live on? Not even close. But I can survive. And I can survive until I get bigger and better. And as I get better, more people will care. And I'll get more people who actually subscribe to, like, you know, donate $1 a month, because that would actually, you know, help a ton. It's the... That's the kind of thing that really adds up, is people signing up for the memberships or the monthly tier, the memberships on Ko-fi, because, like, that tells me that I can do this, you know? And I think I can. It's exciting and scary, in equal parts, in equal measure. I am so excited for what I'm going to be able to do, and so terrified that it might go sideways. You believe in me, believing in you to believe in me. I love it. I appreciate it. Scare sighting. We'll be here to support you every step of the way. Thank you so much. I need it. So my last day of work was Friday, with an asterisk of it. With a star. Because, see, I quit the job 2 weeks ago. I put in my 2 weeks, and I told them, hey, I'm going to be leaving in 2 weeks. And they said, And, like, I expected them to, there's several unfinished projects. I really expected them to be like, you're going to have to work 80-hour days until... Wait, that isn't correct. Yeah, 80-hour weeks. But sometimes it does feel like 80-hour days when you hit crunch time, right? And like, you're going to have to complete these projects before you leave. And it's like, no, they didn't. They were just like, oh, okay. It was just business as usual for 2 weeks, and then I packed up my computer that I actually owned and brought it home. And... yeah. But on the way out... my boss says to me, he says, hey, Jade, hey, so here's the thing. Not next week, but the week after, I'm going to be out of town. If you can cover that week, we'll keep you on salary payroll until the end of the month. So basically, it's the equivalent of getting next week as all vacation days that I am getting paid for if I work the weekend of the week of the 25th. So it's just like, I mean, that's a good deal. It's basically getting double pay for that week. So it's like, I guess I'm not completely quit yet. Sure, you got it, buddy. So I am going to work a normal week on the week of the 25th, and then at the beginning of December. So like this upcoming week is just going to be vacation week, effectively, and then I work another week. I have quit, but at the same time, I'm not in a position to turn down a good deal, right? Plus, they're probably going to take me back for consultancy for some things, for some projects that are less than finished, shall we say. Yeah, free money for a week. Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's going to go a long ways. I might even be able to buy meat. I'll be able to buy meat based on the donations today. Thank you so much. Meat. Let me make curry. I have golden curry. I have like 6 boxes of golden curry because I accidentally bought the curry roux instead of the instant curry. So I actually have like real curry boxes to make actual curry on my own instead of the stuff you throw in the microwave. And it's like, I should use these. I was hoping to get cheap, easy. I was hoping to get easy dinners, but I'm gonna actually have to cook proper. Okay, fair. My favorite curry is actually Vermont curry. It's a Japanese curry made by somebody who has never been to Vermont. Rar. Rar, rar, meow, rar, meow, meow, rar. So. What happens now? Well, right now, not a whole lot, because I'll be going back to work after a week for a week. So like I'm not actually getting the experience of not working yet. Even though like I have quit, I'm going to that. So for the next, honestly, probably halfway through December, I am going to be I'm going to be live streaming. I might cut it back a little bit. I don't know when I'll start doing the upload videos. Probably partway through December. Oh, I didn't mean for that to reappear. Oopsies. And yeah. And then once I have those videos nice and rolling, once those are moving smoothly, once I have uploaded content coming out regularly on... It's going to be 3 days a week of upload content. Monday, Tuesday... I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, I guess. And then 2 days of uploads, of live streams, which is going to be Friday and Monday. And then 1 day a week where I stream on Twitch if I feel in the mood for it, which is going to be Thursday, the way it has been. That's been the way for a long time now. And then I start working on video essays. I will still be having some days where I'm not going to be as available because I'm going to have to drive someone all the way down to the city multiple times. So it's not like I'm, not doing anything but working on the essays or, sitting in the hot springs. Though I'll have time to go to the hot springs whenever I want. And I'll have time to sit and work whenever I want. And I'll have time to exercise more, which I do plan on doing. I have Ring Fit. I want to actually work out more and become healthier because it'd be really funny if I was hotter. That's why. I realized that the way to convince myself to exercise more is for the bit. If I exercise more and get a nicer body, that would be funny. And that's really my primary motivator. That is my core goal. That's what motivates me, is that would be funny. So so I will. If I had reception there, I could try to do a hot spring stream. I don't know if I could. I could take my laptop out. It gets enough reception to try downloading YouTube stuff sometimes. I don't know. Maybe that could be a thing. It wouldn't be like, a sexy hot tub. No, it would just be hanging out. That would just be a chat stream where I am wet. Yeah, there's a hot springs near me. Out in the woods. But yeah, I'll be able to survive. And that's... Hot tub stream of just the hot tub. Where? Rar meow. Rar meow. So then. Oh yeah, the UN thing. So this actually isn't a whole lot of story. There's not a whole lot of story to this. It's actually less impressive than it sounds, but it is extremely funny. I did get an invitation to a Impact summit at the United Nations in New York. And it's not for an actual UN summit event. It's not actually for a UN meeting. It's for what looks to be like a youth and government thing. One of my contacts on LinkedIn sent me the invite, and again, I have done a lot of things. I've had a strong position for a very long time, so it's just very funny. It's like, invite to the well, I can't afford it right now. That's on the other side of that's on the other side of the continent. I don't know. I can't, because it doesn't include room, I don't believe. But I think it's a youth and government thing. I did youth and government when I was younger, and it was a fun little program. Unfortunately, I got to learn how the government works, which is... See, you actually made proposals and bills, and then you went to the Capitol building and actually sat in the seats and debated and discussed your bills and tried to pass. Well, some senior was on was functioning as the head there or whatever, and you actually had to follow the Brown's Rules of Order, is it? And the first time I did it, I did a very Oh, I learned how the government works. I did a bill about cybersecurity and instituting actual protections for internet abuse, and none of the other, again, high schoolers understood really what I was saying, because they weren't as tech savvy as I was. So they ended up not voting for it because they didn't understand it, and it's just like, oh, too real. Too real. 30 minutes of Jade sleeping ASMR. That could be a thing. Good night, Godwoken. Then the following year, I put together a bill where it just required seatbelts in cars and actually fixed the loophole about that made it legal for people to ride in the back of pickup trucks without seatbelts. And I got shouted down by people who were not actually who didn't have a majority but were much louder and much more vocal on their opinions. So they just kind of like made a lot of noise, and it's just like my bill ended up not passing because they were because the loud people were louder than me. Which again, I learned a lot about how the government works. Anyways, I suspect this is something like that. I don't know for certainty. This year's summit will include insightful keynotes from thought leaders, engaging panel discussions on global issues, launches and announcements of new initiatives, showcase of the impact report and partnership to scale, collaborative workshops to foster innovation and partnerships. I love all those words. They're all fantastic words. But then again, this event brings together visionary leaders and young changemakers dedicated to advancing sustainable development goals. And then if you actually go to their website, it's special consultative status to the UN Economic and Social Council with a bunch of youths. And like, it sounds pretty cool, and it would be an interesting thing, but I don't have the money for that, like, not with what I'm about to plan to. And I was probably, like, second or third string on the invitation list, which is why I didn't get my invitation until, like, a month before the event. Which, understandable, right? Like, that's fair. I get it. That's understandable. But it's also very funny. So, questions, thoughts, concerns. What do you guys have? What do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys want to think about? What do you guys want to know? What are you scared of and what are you excited for? A cat hath trapped you. Oh no, you're stuck watching the stream forever. Ha ha ha, captive audience. Oh, planned games for the next bit. That is a really good question. Did I eat today? I had a soup. It just took some rice. I took some chicken bouillon. I put the chicken bouillon, some scallions, dried scallions, some garlic, and some. Yeah, that's up it, and I forget what it was. And and just like two big old spoons of rice, and that was a really nice lunch. And then for dinner, I had. You're scared of not being here? Hello, Cactus. I just showed off your emotes, and people loved them. I showed off all the ones that have been completed. And people have thought they're adorable because they are, and you do amazing work. So I did have that. And then for dinner, I just had cheese and crackers. So that counts as a dinner. That's totally a dinner. That's a good dinner. You can't convince me that's not dinner. It's totally dinner. So right now I'm playing Iconoclast, which is kind of hard because a lot of people don't know what it is. So I'm not getting the clicks, which is rough, honestly. But I'm trying to gap fill. You know, I'm trying to gap fill until I'm able to set up into more of the new thing, right? I want a couple games to play through as I try to get to the point where I can do the pre-recorded things. And I've been doing a lot of Metroidvanias lately, and I've been doing a lot of comparing of Metroidvanias, which has not ended up in Iconoclast's favor, I'm sorry to say. Good puzzles. Storytelling's real bad. But on that end, I have Dead Cells, Blasphemous, and Ender Lilies as the next couple of games to be lined up there. Probably Dead Cells and Blasphemous will be done before I switch over to the edited upload content. I also have already purchased, but not played, Echoes of Wisdom, the new Zelda game where you play as Zelda. And I'm really excited for that. I can't wait to play it, but I am going to wait to play it because I don't have time to play it yet, and I need to, like, you know, deal with not working for a little while first so I don't explode and perish. But that's going to be good. I'm going to make it happen. It's going to be good. So, like, right now it's going to be Iconoclasts, then it's going to be Dead Cells, then Blasphemous, and then I'll follow that up by going into the uploaded videos, which will be Lies of P and the Zelda one. At which point I should be, by the time I get through those, I should be very well and truly into the does this PlayStation have a copy of Demon's Souls? I have someone else's PlayStation here, mind you. If it has a copy of Demon's Souls, I should play it. You've been meaning to watch someone play that? The first couple episodes are already up, actually. If you just go to the playlist tab, I have several episodes of Lies of P already up, except for the fact that they are very... The last episode has got some real bad editing. I left it up, but that's why I felt super guilty about it. I felt super bad about it, and that's why I never did any more of it, is because I felt so guilty about the poor quality, because I had a recording issue. I just had a recording issue, and I don't have video for, like, the last 10 minutes of the episode, even though I got, like, my favorite weapon type, even though the game was fun, even though I got to a new area that looked really cool, even though I was having fun with it, I had a corrupted video segment, and I felt guilty, because it's not the kind of game where you can go back, right? I can't go back and re-record that section, because it's just not possible. That's not a thing that you can do, you know? But that is an idea of the kind of stuff that I'll be doing. That sort of, like, yeah, that sort of content. The Lies of P is 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there 4 episodes deep of that? I think there's 4 episodes deep on that right now. Or Soldiers. I'm probably gonna go back to Soldiers as well. Not that anyone watched those episodes. That has one of my lowest view counts of series, and despite me being... It has the biggest discrepancy between view count and the amount that I enjoyed it. Because I really enjoyed it, but it was not very good. You'll buy it for me? That would be cool. I'd really appreciate that. I might already have it, frankly. It might actually just be on the PlayStation 5 because of the person who I'm borrowing it from. I mean, I've already played Demon's Souls once. It was a long time ago. I really like the weight of the combat. Elden Ring is pretty jumpy. Elden Ring is a very jumpy game. I like it, but it's almost Toho-esque sometimes in that it's Twitch reactions, as opposed to proper timing. If that makes sense? Like, it doesn't have quite the it doesn't have quite the impact, I guess, of some of the older Souls games. If you going back and playing Dark Souls 1 after playing through Elden Ring, is gonna feel jarring. It's gonna feel real jarring. And try the PS3 one, it feels clunky. Yeah, but like part of it is, I hope it's still like that, because it's supposed to be clunky. It's supposed to be a little bit clunky. That's part of the appeal. That's part of what makes it so much fun, is that, you know, it is a beautiful, clunky game that is wonderful because of its imperfections, not in spite of them. You know? I've also told that I should make Ender Lilies one of the last of the Metroidvania series that I do, because it's going to ruin me, because every other Metroidvania is going to be dull in comparison, which is really high praise, and I hope it's true. I could also go through the Shantae games, is another thought that I had. Because that's kind of what Iconoclast reminds me of, except that Shantae's is a lot better for the storytelling, but in terms of like the combat and puzzle aspects of it, it feels kind of like Shantae. And Shantae is a series that I love. It is flirty while never being overly lewd. It is cute while being a little bit of, you know, wink and nudge as well, but never in the way that feels creepy or overt. It's playful in its style and in its presentation, and I like it. Shantae is a very good game. Well, are very good games, I should say. And I believe I have all of them. Aside from that, I have thought about doing The Messenger. I have beaten The Messenger before, but it is a very good game. And, yeah. I played through Sea of Stars on the channel and had a lot of fun with it. Go watch the Sea of Stars playlist, it's very good. Yeah, you own Pirate's Curse because I got it for you for 1 year for Christmas. But The Messenger is in the same universe as Sea of Stars. And I feel like playing through... I kind of wish I played The Messenger right after Sea of Stars, because it would have been have some interesting crossover. But I didn't. I do also have Salt and Sanctuary, which I never actually played, which is Souls-like Metroidvania. Momodora 3 and 4, which I've already beaten. I'm just looking at my Metroidvanias list on Steam. Why is Arkham Asylum listed as a Metroidvania? No, I reject that. Guacamelee is a great one. I already played it, though. Same with Hollow Knight, though Hollow Knight is evergreen and could easily be played again. Hollow Knight is 7 gigabytes? Why? Oh, whatever. I already did Bloodstained. I have a copy of Hyperlight Drifter? Huh, neat, never played it. But yeah, those are some of the things that are coming up. In order, it's going to be continuing on with the Metroidvania plan of Iconoclast, followed by Dead Cells, followed by Blasphemous. I will weave in Demon Souls if I have it / get it, and if I do that, where's my other slipper? Where'd my slipper go? Oh, there it is. If I do that, then I will play Demon Souls. Probably after I finish Lies of P. That's the idea. Because I kind of do want to get back into Lies of P. Play through that. Played it thrice. Oh, Asylum. Yeah, I played part of one of them. I don't know which one. And said, that was kind of cool. But not really for me. And I put it down. It's not a bad game. I think it's a very good game. It's just not really... I don't know. I didn't get into it that much. Which is fine, of course, right? Like, you don't have to love every game in every game that's good. You look forward to making P-Organ Daddy and Twink Puppet jokes? Boy, you need to click the playlist then, because I've already been making them. Because like I said, that series already has a handful of episodes. Oh, that is in... Yep, Lies P has 3 episodes. Good series. Yeah. You're very normal about the series. Very, very normal. The normalist. But yeah, It's gonna be interesting, and I'm excited. and I'm terrified, but also excited, but also terrified. And like, the biggest fear is changing content. Will people follow through? Will people follow me in the content that I make? And I believe you guys will. Will I reach more audience with it? I hope so. And frankly, it'll be better content. I'll be able to skip runbacks and grinding. I'll be able to fast forward through things. I'll be able to make editor jokes at the end. I'll be able to get a proper editor for a couple episodes. I'll be able to get... Honestly, I'll probably just have, I'll probably just forward stuff to Hensha and have her watch it and make, notes and make a couple jokes about it, for some gag reel stuff. The way that she does when she's editing videos. It's like, I feel like that kind of stuff is going to be more entertaining to watch anyways. Hello, crew. Hello, Katana. So, like, I think that's going to be good and cool and fun, and I think everyone's going to be happy, and I think everyone's going to like me. I'm having a very normal one, eh? I also have Wiggler Dawn. I also have Electric Chrome, which I could do something with soon. Now, Electric Chrome. Hold on, can I save this? How do I copy the image? I don't know if I can. 1 second here. Electric Chrome is a game that none of you have ever heard about. Most of you have never heard about. Some of you have never heard about. I wonder if any of you guys have heard about Electric Chrome. Let me pull up a picture of it. You stream and stream, no contact about what's going on in edit. I'm going to be switching from stream content over to uploaded content is what it is. Why is this image need to be set? I lost it. Uh-oh. So I need to resize this image. It turned out enormous for some reason. There we go. So Electric Chrome is a tabletop game. It's a tabletop miniatures war game, kind of, I guess would be the proper word for it, but it's not exactly correct. Like, it's not exactly the right... It's a skirmish game, I think is a better way of phrasing it. It's a tabletop skirmish game played with 30mm bases, and here is the cover art. This is a project that I made. It's basically a fully playable in beta test mode. It's a cyberpunk setting, with humans, with people who have changed over to partial robotics, with people who have focused on gene editing, and with people who have focused on chemistry and steroids, as sort of like a bane, as like one of the classes sort of things. It has a really good dice system. It has a good rule set. It has fully customizable characters with, you can buy their weapons and their armor and their augments. And honestly, it was in beta testing phase when I dropped it, and I think it might be time to pick it up again. It also has the one of my favorite rules that I've ever written. Where is it? Where is my there it is. Ready for this? If the players have a dispute over any rules during gameplay, it is suggested to resolve them in the following order. 1. Attempt to rationalize the intent of the rule. 2. Determine how specific the rule is. A model or gear specific rule will always take priority over a general game rule. 3. Come to an agreement or roll off to keep the game going and check on our forums or with a veteran player after the game is over. 4. Pull out your phone and look up the forums or call a veteran to figure it out. 5. Attempt to argue your case louder than your opponent. 6. Battle to the death. Those are the official rules for resolving rules disputes. Alright, here we go. In Electric Chrome, teams of highly trained elite troops fight to control high-value objectives for their cause, their boss, or maybe just to pay the bills. With warriors kitted out in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cybernetic augmentation and the newfound ability to control others' augments, the battlefield has changed. Electric Chrome is a fast-paced 30mm tabletop game for 2 or more players, set in the industrial urban landscape of the not-too-distant future. Players control custom-built teams to outwit, outplay, and outmaneuver their opponents. The strong, the fast, and the smart all have their place in the battlefield of the future. An Electric Chrome team is built to cover its own weaknesses while trying to find and exploit those of the opponent. Hackers can take down the biggest contenders on the battlefield from a safe location, shutting them down. The quick and agile characters can get to the hackers and cut through their paper-like armor. And the brutes can lock down the fastest characters to protect their allies. Every character can be customized with various equipment, some of which are made especially for their race, so that your team isn't just a group of misfits, they're your group of misfits. That's... Look. I'll tell you the races too, because the races are fun. There's 4 races in this game. The first being the humans. Humans, the great constant. Humans have lived, died, and fought since time immemorial. Most mercenaries are humans simply by virtue of the world being made for humans. Humans have excellent all-around characteristics, and most augments on the market are made for them, making it easy to buy and wear anything they can get their hands on. The Ascendant. Whether religious devotees who attempted to ascend past the flesh, or just opportunists who believe that they're stronger this way, the Ascendant have given up on the mortal concept of cells in favor of circuitry. While their technology does not yet grant them the ability to remove their flawed humanity, it does come close. To say that they are more robot than man is a gross understatement, and one that they are quite proud of. The First. The First is the general name for a small subset of humans who have undergone extensive genome engineering. Ignoring the social pressures, they pick and choose different bits of their genetic makeup in the same way another person might pick out a new haircut. The limitations of their technology only allow them to copy existing genome patterns, but they're no longer limited to simply human ones. The First are fiercely independent and counterculture, but their pride shows how little they care for the thoughts of others. And yes, those are the Shadowrun style furries, right? Those are the very fast, agile characters in Cat Girls. The one on the cover is a First. And the Brutes. With the advent of the ability to hack into other individuals' cybernetics, an old style of fighting has become popular again. Rather than focus on cybernetic augmentation, the Brutes rely on chemistry to give them strength. A viscous cocktail of steroids, adrenaline, and other combat-enhancing drugs is pumped into a Brute's bloodstream, building up over time until these walking tanks are nearly as reliant on them as they are on the cybernetics that complete the package. Brutes are exclusively security and soldiers, not having a culture beyond their own paycheck, though many will augment their dosage with other drugs for entertainment. The general idea... Okay, so let me tell you the concept I have. Let me tell you the idea. The terrain is supposed to be more akin to Infinity. A lot of terrain, a lot of line-of-sight blocking features. And of the 4 classes, there are 2 layers of combat. What is a combat layer? Think flying from Magic the Gathering. Creatures on the attack, but flyers are on a different combat layer. If somebody has flying and they attack, it functions differently on the attack. They just attack in a completely different field of battle than the rest of the army. That's a different combat layer. You can also see this in... Well, several games have different combat layers. In a sense, you could argue that a bleed build is functioning on a different combat layer because you do not care about their HP total or their defensive totals. All you care about is proccing bleed or poison or whatever it is, status debuff you're trying to get. It's a different it's somebody who it's a class that plays by a different set of rules, by a different plan and goal set. So in this game, the two layers are physical and hacking. If you bring someone's health down to 0, you take the model off the board. They die. Normal stuff, right? This is normal RPG stuff. If you bring their tech HP down to 0, their tech health, you gain control of their next activation. You can control the enemy and get a movement and an attack action, basically giving yourself their turn, denying them the action and giving you the action. That is immensely powerful, but it does require doing actions that do not actually hurt the health of the target, doing actions that only, focusing on the tech HP, and that I think is going to be extremely interesting to work with. Hackers completely ignore line of sight, sort of like flyers in Magic the Gathering. The hackers can draw ranges without any regard to lines of sight. They simply do not care. Whereas everybody else who has guns or such require line of sight. So the hackers can tuck down behind a wall and still be at full power. The first are very fast and have the ability to get around them, and small daggers will do a lot of damage to the low armor stat of the hackers, whereas the daggers will not do a whole lot to a brute with their high armor stat, because the defenses will bounce off of it. Where the brutes have blindingly low tech HP, but the brutes specifically, because they're primarily chemical powered rather than all augments, they can choose to shut down. They can turn themselves off to deny, so that they lose a turn instead of... pardon. So they lose a turn instead of granting an action. So you lose an action instead of losing an action and granting your opponent an action. The core of the game is based on objectives. It doesn't matter how much you're alive, as much as it matters how effectively you can take objectives. And you have to go up to objectives to claim them. You can shoot objectives to remove somebody else's claim. Claiming them for more at the end of a turn gives you bonuses, gives you victory points effectively. And unfortunately, when I was working on it, COVID hit, and the tabletop game industry just died, just completely exploded. So I kind of tipped my hat on the concept and said maybe I'll come back to it someday. I think it actually is going to work extremely well, because having more models in the battlefield means you have more actions, and action economy is good. But having a couple of glitter boys, having a couple of characters with have a lot of augments, are going to just be unbreakable. And if you stand on an objective that so your opponent can't claim it, like having someone beefy is just going to be unbreakable. And if there's only 3 objectives on the battlefield, having too many activations won't make too much of a difference. Whereas having too many, whereas defenses would be very powerful. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out and to balance it. Like the humans who are really good with rifles, the first who are really good with melee weapons, the brutes who are really good with both melee weapons and heavy weapons, and the techs who are really good with rigs, with tech rigs. And you can build anyone how you want. You can build a human with a tech rig as well. In fact, it's actually very effective to have a pistol in one hand and a tech rig in the other, so that you can do different things with the character. Give yourself more utility. It needs more beta testing. That's really what it is. It needs to be tested a lot more. And I think I should do that, and I think you guys might be interested in it because of the amount of game design stuff that I've done. And frankly, it has cybernetic cat girls. What's not to love? Come on, what's not to love? Look at this. Look at this. Look at the cybernetic cackerel. What's not to love? Come on, it's beautiful. Okay, enough of that. Ah, it's cool though. It's cool and good and fun and cool. Yeah, you are definitely looking. Respectfully, eh? But I could work on that more. I could do some public playtesting with some of my friends that you guys could watch. Most of the stuff on it has been under NDA up until now, just because, well, part of what pushed me back on it was the idea of people looking at it and saying, hey, so this is some sort of homebrew game, it is, instead of actually looking at it and saying, oh, this is a new tabletop game that people could play. That combined with the COVID just absolutely wrecking the tabletop industry. Where put a halt on the actual work on it. Meow. So, yeah. Other questions, thoughts, concerns? So any others I missed? Lost track in the middle of that. I'm also going to be switching over to VNeon in the near future. That doesn't really affect your guys' experience much, if at all. But that'll be a thing. I'm going to play more Deadlock. That's mostly just because I like Deadlock. That'll probably continue to be my Twitch.tv game. Though I might just, occasionally just hit Backpack Hero or Monster Train or something. I do have Monster Hunter Wilds pre-ordered, so when that game comes out, I will have it. However, to be honest, I'm not planning on streaming it. That's going to be... Monster Hunter has traditionally been a game that I play for me. And it's important if you stream to have games that you play for yourself, not for other people. Because that helps you stop you from burning out on streaming. Or making content in general, for Let's Plays as well. So that is a piece of advice I have for anybody here who has thoughts, concerns, destinies for making content. Have a couple of games, and hobbies for that matter, set aside for you that are not playing video games that you stream. For me, Monster Hunter will be that for me. Yeah. I've been playing some more Cyberpunk, which is a very good game. I'm going to be playing some Chimera Squad too, which is just... love it. Such a good game. Recently started a game of Portal 2 with a friend. But those are games that I'm not going to be making content out of, But yeah, as much as the UN thing would be an interesting opportunity, and it'd be really cool to get out there, and I do have some friends that live in the New York area. I don't know if they're anywhere near the city, but, I do have a couple of friends who are in that area. Despite that, I just don't think it's realistic to be able to go, Not right now. This is the exact wrong time for that to happen. I also don't know about Consumer Electronics Show. I am of two minds on that. Part of me thinks that maybe that would be a really fun thing to go and do. and just as as media effectively, and still make some videos about it. Other part of me says, that's not. That's gonna be some money. But then again, I stay at a friend's house down there in Vegas, so like I don't actually have to worry about paying for a hotel, which reduces the cost of going drastically. But it is a week that I have to pay for my own food, right? It's a week of eating out, but just some of the best food in the world. Don't get me wrong. It's a week of eating out at some of the best restaurants that are in the world. If you go to Vegas, go to Zen Curry. Write that down. You will not regret it. Seriously, Zen Curry, Vegas, phenomenal. Best place I've like just love it. But like, yeah, probably not headed out there, but maybe I'll figure out where things land. I'll figure out what direction things are going in. But I still have Lies of P set up. I still have these other Metroidvanias. Plus, I have all of my emulation library. And I have all of my cartridges and capture card stuff. I have my actual Switch with all of its games and all of its media catalog. I have plenty of games. So that's the other thing is like I have my equipment. Like I have a monitor. I have another monitor. Hi. I have both of them. I have my mic, which is a Shure SM7B, which is just one of the best microphones in the industry. I have YouTube chat disconnecting me for some reason. I have a phone that I use for capture. I have, a nice keyboard, a nice mouse, a decent computer for running things. I have access to a PS5. I have pretty much everything I need to keep going. I have a copy of Sony Vegas Pro 18, which is solid. It's a good piece of software. I have several libraries worth of sound effects and video componentry and audio filters, gain suites, and noise cancellation stuff. I have just the ability to hook up my Super Nintendo. I have ROM hacks. I have AM2R, which is another one that I was going to try playing. Is chat still broken? Yep. Oh well. So, like, there are things that I don't need a whole lot. Yay, works. I don't need a whole lot to be able to keep making stuff. I have my setup, which is why I'm going to be able to do this. If my mic breaks, I actually have a backup mic. I have a AT2020. I'll be crying because this Shure SM7B is phenomenal and just one of the best mics ever. And I could definitely set it up so it sounds better. But, like, that would probably require some settings changes. I don't know how to work that so much. But the fact that I am prepared on a lot of this stuff means a lot. Means that I can do this. Means that I can do this. Any other questions or thoughts or concerns? I kind of gave out my whole concept schedule already, both in games and on strategies, and, well, yeah. I think you guys will be excited. I think that it's going to be better stuff. I think that it's not going to be time locked, so you're not going to have to worry about like watching at a certain time. Because let's be honest, I'm at 5 o'clock. This is like this is the prime time for anybody to stream. Everybody who wants to stream is going to be streaming right now. I have no question at all that I am, like, conflicting with a ton of huge people. And yes, I have quit my day job to become a person. Curry tier list when? Top of the line is Zen Curry, if you want to count restaurants. I would put Vermont after that. After that, look for ones that don't have any English on the packaging. Longer hair or shorter hair dogs? I think medium is better. I think that longer hair dogs, like the really longer, fluffy ones, can be difficult to maintain and to... Yeah, can be difficult to maintain and difficult to work with. But I don't like the hairless dogs. I think those are a bit awkward. Tara is a rescue dog, so I have no idea about her pedigree, but she is most likely somewhere between a golden and an Aussie. Thank you very much, Alex. And there are a lot of success stories and failures, but the thing is, I can sustain off of this. If I can live off, if I can get beans and rice, and I can, then I'm gonna be okay, right? I'm in a position right now where if I can simply make some content, I can actually survive even if that content's not making me money. Which is a blessed situation to be in. It's going to be a lot less stressful, and that lack of stress is going to mean that I'm going to be able to make proper art. I'm going to be able to make content without the threat of starvation. And there's a strong argument that content that is made under the threat of work or die scenarios, which is what we have in modern capitalism, is not art because it is made for survival rather than for truly pleasured, being pleasurable. This is the concept that says advertising is not art, sort of thing. Which is, I don't necessarily agree with that description because I believe that those can be, but the idea that anybody who would not be working on that project if they weren't being paid is going to fundamentally be changed from the concepts that they would have worked with if they were able to do it entirely of their own free will. But then that's getting into more niche descriptions of art and definitions of it that I think are worth talking about and that are interesting, but aren't necessarily meaningful. They don't actually hold value to make them prescriptive, right? It's not to say that somebody that poor people make better art. That's not what it means. What it means is that people who make people who have more freedom have the ability to be more creative, and those people who have the ability to be more creative and have the background and skill to be able to use that have the potential to make things that are more interesting. That they don't have to cut corners and round off edges to be able to produce them. And that's another thing that's worth pointing out is I have a degree in this. My degree is in fine arts. I have a degree in art, acting, presentation, directing, editing. This is all stuff that I know. It's not like I'm doing this as straight out of high school. It's not like I'm doing this in my parents' basement. It's not like I'm doing this by the seat of my pants and hoping for the best. I have a background in this. I should be able to give myself the best possible chance to succeed because this is within my skill set. This is fundamentally what my skill set is the ability to make and create and publish this sort of thing. So the idea that this is going to be improve my odds of success, the idea is that this is actually closer to what I am both passionate and skilled in than what I was doing for my day job, than what I was doing for my everyday job. This is, not a weird, wild whim, I should be able to be successful in this endeavor, hopefully, because this endeavor is what I've trained to do, what I've been able to do. Sharing stories from my acting career? I have a couple that I could share. Those would make for fun. Those could make for fun videos. I do want the video essay channel to be mostly video essays. I'm hired! Hooray! I mean, if anyone, for that record, actually, you say you're hired, but jokes aside, if anybody needs motion capture or voice acting or anything else like that for a game you're working on, hit me up. Like, unironically. I have a pretty good vocal range. I have literally surprised my vocal coach on multiple occasions with my range. I don't use a lot of it while I'm streaming, but, I mean, you know. This is just my normal voice. This is just, you know, like my default, which is easier to stream in your default voice because it's your default voice, especially for longer times when you're streaming for more than 2 hours. Though my normal voice is actually closer to this. It's slightly higher and a bit breathier, but this one is easier to work with for a stream, but this one is actually my real voice, I guess you could call it now. This is my voice. Hi, I'm Jade. Nice to meet you. But, So, yeah, if anyone does want either consultancy or voice or motion capture, because a lot of my experience was actually stage combat. I was stage combat certified, and the movie that I was in, I was used for my stage combat skills. I will still be available for that if anybody has an interest in hiring me for such things. Just throwing that out there. But that's another thing, though. Like, I've always wanted to go more into voice acting, but I never felt like I was able to. Because it's terrifying. One of my friends is, Kennedy Phillips, Mega Serling, who is a delight. Fantastic guy. But anytime he finishes a project, he's unemployed. Anytime he finishes his work, he gets a pat on the back. They say, that was amazing. You did some incredible work. We're not giving you a paycheck anymore because it's done. We are done with you. Goodbye. And then he has to look for work under the threat of being homeless again, because that's how capitalism works for creatives. And like, that's horrifying. That's part of why I never went into voice acting properly, because of that. So I might do that more now because I am in a position where I could survive. It's basically working on commission, yeah. And like, that's not sustainable after a certain age, I would argue. That at a certain point, you need the stability of being able to survive. And right now, I'm blessed to be in a position where, again, as long as I can, live off of some beans and rice, which I can, then I can do that. And it's going to be okay. And I might put in some applications for voice acting, because now I don't have that fear. I don't have that panic response of going, if I don't get a job, then I die. I don't have that panic response of, if I don't get a position, I can't pay for my property taxes. You know? Something tax evasion. Anyways. As long as I can go a year and start making a little bit off of YouTube. As long as I can go a year, a full year, and start being able to drive something off of this, I'll be okay. When in that year I'm successful, when in that year I can start making something, when in that year I am going to, it's going to be apparent that I can do this continued, I don't know. But in my current position, I have effectively a full calendar year, maybe two, to just do YouTube and give myself the best chance for success. And that's what it is about, right? It's never guaranteed. It's making, it's the algorithms, there's a lot of dice rolls involved, there's a lot of reward for genuine hard work, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it, there's a lot of things I need to think about, and things I need to worry about, and things I need to panic about. But if I can go for 18 to 24 months, I can survive that. At which point I can step back and reconsider and say, is this working for me? Can I keep going off this? Can I survive on the YouTube? And the TikTok and the Twitch.television? is this something that I can actually pull off? And at that point, if the answer is yes, then I keep going. And at that point the answer is no, I go back to, well, I will have to find a new job, and I'll have to cut back on the type and the production quality of the content that I've been making because of having to that conflict of schedule. But that's my default. That's been my default. Basically, I'll go back to what I have already had before, but I have the chance to have the time to make something more of it, to spend the extra time to make the videos more entertaining, to spend the extra time to make these video essays, to spend the time to actually make the TikToks that I've been wanting to make. I have a scripts file. I have scripts.txt in my folder, and there's so much in there. There's so much in scripts.txt that I want to work on, but I just haven't had time to sit down and make TikToks because, work. And I'll have the opportunity to actually give myself the best chance for success. And fundamentally, that's really what it is. This is my opportunity. These next 18 months, these next 2 years, this next year, somewhere in that range, we'll see how well things go monetarily. If I can survive off of $30 to $50 a week for food, if I can survive in that time, if I can save as much money and cut as much corner as I can, then I think I can do this. Not cutting corners on content. I'm going all in on that front, but cutting corners on, like, you know, I'm not gonna be eating out for the next year. I'm not gonna be going to conventions. I'm not gonna be. I mean, I might be able to go to one of the. Yeah, I might be able to go to some convention. Probably not. I don't know. Well, I'll see how it goes. You guys have been incredibly kind to the stream. You guys have been overwhelmingly supportive, and I really appreciate that. And like I said, in about 3 weeks, maybe 4, then then I'll be free, and I'll be making these uploads, and I'll be making the starting working on some video essay, and I'll be giving myself the best chance I can to succeed. It's actually pinned to Tuzzy. It's actually pinned. I actually made it a pinned comment for this stream. And again, it'll be super thanks, which is the video version, and the super thanks will last forever on that video. You will have a comment on that video forever that is, you know, that has a super chat on it, which will last, because people will watch videos longer than they will, you know, those last longer, right? More people are going to click on videos later on. If someone wants to watch us playthrough of Iconoclast next year, they're probably not going to watch what is effectively a VOD, the live stream videos. But someone's going to click on watch a Let's Play playlist, and that's the kind of thing that I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that my content has more longevity. I'm hoping that my content has more people watching it and sticking around and watching for later. You know, that's going to be better for everybody. Better for you, because you don't have to worry about locking in at a certain time. You can if you want to join a premiere and chat, but you no longer are locked into watching a weird internet lizard at prime time when literally everyone is streaming. You can watch at your convenience. I can set the videos to go live at like 1 o'clock or something, and just you can watch it when you want. It'll be shorter. It'll be like 40 minutes to an hour, and that's, you know, easy, more digestible for you guys. Same amount of work for me. Again, an hour-long video is 2 hours to produce, just because I have to go into the editing software, watch it through, plus do any edits that need to be done. Even if I'm just straight uploading gameplay, it's not gonna. Even if I'm just uploading the gameplay, it's still gonna take twice as long. But I think it'll be better. I think I'll be better. I couldn't sleep last night. With Friday being my last day, technically, I ended up just not sleeping. I ended up staying up until like 4 in the morning or something. I just couldn't sleep, and then I heard a really weird noise in the ceiling above me. And at first I thought that it was Pippin on the scratching post, but it wasn't. So I went over and listened really closely, and it was just a scratching like on wood. And I was awake. This wasn't like a dream. I actually was awake. And I listened to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this like a large rat or something? Like, is this like a big one? Because, like, that's scary. And then I tapped the ceiling, and instead of hearing a squeak or a scamper, I heard a... It sounded like a grasshopper flying. And it's like, oh, no. This is a half-rat, half-grasshopper hybrid who presumably also has a stinger and wants me dead. Again, I'm not in the best place mentally right now. I'm working on it, but that's what my brain provided me as an answer, and then sleep was off the table. The idea of going back to sleep then was just not happening. Just absolutely not happening. I don't know what I should. I should do my best. So I will. Yeah. Are there any further questions or thoughts or concerns? Otherwise, I'll start wrapping up and... I don't know. I'll find out what happens from here. Thank you for joining me in this weird, crazy adventure of mine. This weird, strange life. I swear I don't have main character syndrome, but life keeps on trying to put me in the role of being a main character. Like... life keeps on shoving me into situations that keep on, they keep on happening. And I know that's not going to change. That's not going to change. Trust me. My life is only going to get weirder and more exciting from here. And that's, oh boy. We'll get through this together. We'll do what I can, and oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. You've all been so supportive. All I ask is views, I guess, and comments, you know? Like the video, all that stuff. Subscribe if you haven't, hit the bell. Hitting the bell actually does work. It's basically, it does give you notifications on your phone or whatever, but it's basically like subscribing to a channel twice. Yeah. Someone said, I hope you live in interesting times, and luck's definitely delivered. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. What even is my life? Are you kidding me? An actual invitation to the UN, like, to a UN summit. Really? I cannot believe this happened to me. Except that I kind of can believe it happened to me, because, like, it's not even the weirdest thing that's happened to me. And, again, all I need is I don't need this channel to take off. I don't need 60 billion followers. I don't need to become a big name. All I need is to be able to survive. And I think that'll happen. What is the UN, if I can explain? Oh, yeah, I talked about it earlier, but, welcome. So, this is true. I got invited to a UN summit. Now, I have always been famous adjacent. I've never really been famous, but I've always been famous adjacent. I've had a good position in the business world, and someone on my LinkedIn dropped an invite to me for an Impact Summit at the UN with support of Civil Society Unit and the Department of Global Communications and the United Nations for as a part of with Power Talks, and it was a very kind invite. unfortunately, like, I was definitely not first on the list, if you know what I'm saying. Because the event's next month, and I feel like if I was actually, like, their top pick, I probably would have gotten a message, like, a month or a month and a half ago, like 6 weeks ago. Wait, are you asking what the UN actually is, or are you asking about this story? Because this is the United Nations. It's the big building in New York where all the leaders of the world gather every once in a while. And yeah, I got a genuine invite. It is with great pleasure, no less. It is with great pleasure that we invite you to. Sustainable Development Goals is the focus of it, for the record. It's I mean, on one hand, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. On the other hand, that was like exactly the wrong time for me to pick up and head out there. Oh, okay, first time hearing about it. Oh, yeah. United Nations, the UN, is a, well, let me actually give a proper definition. Diplomatic international organization with the purpose of maintaining international peace, security, and developing friendly relations among nations. It's basically where all the leaders of the world gather together in one building and high-five each other. That's the short version of what it is. It's where all the nations, leaders of all the countries, go over to one building and high-five and say, "Hey, I heard that you have a country too. Same." You ate Japanese cheesecake in front of that building on your birthday? That sounds amazing! So let's see here. Yeah. Any other questions or thoughts or concerns or discussion topics, I guess? People who've been watching Iconoclast, have you been enjoying that series? I'm genuinely curious. Because I feel like I've had a low click count, but the people who follow me regularly have all been loving it. But I'm not getting a lot of new viewers off of it. You enjoy my commentary about it? Well, I'm glad, because I am a little bit salty on it. So, like, I do worry that my commentary is a little bit, you know, angy. Not angy, but, like, eye-rolly. On account of that it is, you know. On account of that that's actually true. I mean... It's a game you're not biggest fan of, but yeah, the eye-rolling's cute. Okay, that's good to hear. I do a great job of explaining why I'm angry. Yeah, I think that's important, you know? Like, I'm never going to do just, like, you know, rage commentary. I'm never going to just be like, oh, this game is terrible! I'm going to explain, you know, I'm going to give credit where it's due and kick people in the shins where they deserve it and talk about why. You know, that's kind of how my style is. Like, I'll have strong opinions, and I'll share those opinions, both good and bad. I will give praise where praise is due, and I will condemn things that are poorly handled. I mean, I'm not going to shy away from honest opinions, but I'm also not going to I'm also not going to ignore the problems. Good example of that, if you want to see me get really angry at a game, if you want to see me get actually unpleasant at a game, Scarlet Nexus playthrough is one where I was just genuinely hating my time with it. I wanted to finish it to see where it went, but boy, was I not having a good time on that one. That was profoundly bad, but, like, you know, we got Moon Daddy out of it, so, like, who's to say? We got Moon Daddy out of it, and what could we really ask for other than Moon Daddy? Oh. Shout outs to anybody who actually likes Scarlet Nexus. You're seeing something in it that I don't. What's the next thing I'm going to do on my channel? Like, are you going to frequently upload videos? So mostly right now, up to now, is that I've been doing live streams, and I'm going to start going over to uploaded videos of Let's Play style stuff of games. I've been going through a lot of Metroidvanias, and I'm going to continue that trend for a little bit, continuing with Iconoclast now, and moving into Dead Cells, Blasphemous, and Ender Lilies, 3 games that I am very excited to play after Iconoclast is complete. And then from there, it'll probably be going into either both Lies of P and Demon Souls. I should play Void Stranger. Void Stranger? I've heard of that. Which one is that? Oh, interesting. Maybe I haven't heard of it. But yeah, I'm gonna also do some meme reviews, which is gonna be nice. I'm going to do some... I'm going to be going in a new direction for content. I'm going to be making some new and exciting things, and I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to play out very well. Main story next week is 36 hours for Void Stranger. That's a good deal if it's enjoyable. It definitely has that Game Boy Classic aesthetic, which I do enjoy. You know, the game I was thinking about doing on the Game Boy Classic was Final Fantasy Adventure. That's a good game. It's fun. So. Yeah. I am going to gracefully bow out for the evening. And I might hop onto the Discord later, watch some Slayers if people are interested in that. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate all of you. You're all wonderful and loved. And thank you for joining me on this wonderful journey that I have. It is a strange and terrifying world, but we can do it. We can get through it together. And thank you for being there for me. That was the wrong button. Okay. Good night, friends. Sleep well, and please remember, you are loved. I love you.